Okay, now I want to go over the inspection report after the inspection was done. And this is going to be after we've done an offer, it was accepted. So this is from a company called Lens Pro where we are. I don't know if they have them everywhere, but I know they're in Georgia where we are. So this is pretty easy to read. They have how many items they inspected, how many had minor defects, how many had marginal defects, and then they have one that I think they call it like a major. Let's see what's called in red. It's the significant or major defects. This house didn't have any of those. This house didn't have any of those significant defects, so that's good. But I want to go over it just to kind of show you what it looks like. So it talks to you about the exterior, the grounds, everything that they inspected. And if you click on something, like for example, let's just click on the attic and the roof and the ventilation. It's going to show you pictures of what they've taken. Then you can get what they inspected, which means over here, inspected, NI, not inspected, not present, and then R would be recommendations. So we look at the insulation for this one because this was they're recommending something for us. And it shows a picture of what they recommended. Inadequate insulation for this home. So since we have our inspection contingencies, we have our appraisal contingencies, we're going to make sure that this gets resolved either by us, and we agree to, if it's not a big deal, we can say, hey, we'll take care of it, or by the owners. So that's what you do with your inspection contingency. If there's something on there that you do not like and they don't want to fix it, then you have the option based on the inspection to get out of the contract. Now, like I said, if you like the house and you said you don't think it's a big deal, you can fix it yourself, or you get a contractor in there that does it yourself once you buy the house, then it's not a big deal. But this is what the inspection will show us. All right, so let's take a look at some of the, let's see. I'm trying to remember what this house had issues with. There weren't really that many issues with the house, but let's look at electrical. That was some of the issues it had. All right, so you get stuff like this, like damaged receptacles. Okay, I mean, it looks like a plate that you can just take off and replace if you wanted to. But again, if you wanted to say, hey, replace that before I buy it, you have that option to do that, and maybe they'll do it. Just depends. Okay, for here, this had no smoke alarms at all. It's the only house we saw that didn't have any smoke alarms at all or any carbon monoxide detectors. So that was kind of strange. So since we're doing FHA, the FHA would not give us a loan because they didn't deem it livable unless the owners fixed this prior to the loan. So we told them that, and they fixed it. Okay. So another thing we were talking about is the water heater that came back on in the disclosure. So we want to take a look at the actual water heater during the inspection. All right. So they said it was an age unit, and here's the month and the year that the water heater was installed. So 2002. So we're looking at almost 21 years at this time. I think it was 2000. So it was 20 years at this time. So 20 years old. We needed this repaired because we knew this was going, not repaired, but replaced. We knew that this wasn't going to last very long. So they said a typical life expectancy is 8 to 15 years. So I was wrong. I thought I'd said 20, I think, before. It's 8 to 15. So they'll tell you that in the report. This has gone 20 years. So it's way past its expected life cycle. So you want to make sure that stuff is cleaned up for you. When it comes to the HVAC, let's see if we can find some HVAC things here. Because what you want to do is you want to know where your filters are, because you're going to change your filter for your water heater. I'm sorry, not your water heater, but your furnace. Okay, so this will tell you where your furnace is. Let's see if I can find a picture of this. They might have one here, and they might not. This is why it's important to be present during the inspection so you can ask these type of questions. Let's see. It almost like they don't have a picture of the filter for the furnace. But let's see if they have the plumbing. And this is what you see right here. This is where you want to know where the main shutoff valve is. Now this one is corroded. So we can say, hey, we need this repaired. Or like I said, we can say, not a big deal. We'll take care of it once we get there. But you can ask for anything and you can negotiate on anything. So just remember that. But this is where the main water shutoff valve is. This is where you shut the water off to the house. It's where you have to know where it is. So if you don't know, or if it's not apparent in the house you look at, make sure you ask the inspector. And so this is what was happening to the water because of the sediment built up in the hot water heater, because it was so old. So this is what it looked like. So obviously we're not gonna live in that. We're gonna say we need this replaced. But they replaced it. So we didn't end up buying the house for other reasons, but they did replace that for the next person that they sold it to. They did end up selling the house. But that's basically going over the inspection report. Has a lot of information. Make sure you read through the whole thing. See what they recommend, and then if they say that they want you to have another person look at it, like for example here, a qualified professional or HVAC professional, make sure you get those people in so they can tell you exactly what it needs. Like I said, the inspectors are going to give you a basic overview, and then if you want, you can have a professional come in and tell you exactly what's going on with it. That's going to cost you a little bit more money, but in the long run, it'll help you either not deal with it as an owner or know what you're dealing with if you end up buying a house.